When I was in primary school, I first encountered Elvis, and it was a really incredible thing because all the girls were gaga about him. There was this really rude joke going around about Elvis, and I thought, oh, who is this guy? And the joke was, why does Elvis stand with his legs apart? To let it swing. And so we were about 8 and we thought it was hysterical. No, my passion for Elvis is, people at work can't believe it, that because I like opera and ballet and classical music, so they think I'm quite a nut. But that doesn't deter me one bit. And this is just an aside, but one of our patients was an American lady, and she was in her 80s, and she said she'd met Elvis, and I just had to touch her, of course, and ask her, and she said he was the most lovely person and so natural.
I don't really remember Elvis that much from growing up, but we lived in North Carolina for 3 years when I was growing up, and I remember, North Carolina is a different place when you think about Elvis. Sort of people have busts of Elvis in his house, in their houses. You walk. I remember we walked into my dad's friend's house once, and there was just this velvet like Elvis kind of on the wall, and Mum and I sort of looked at each other, and I was like, okay, this is a whole new level. One of my friends told me that she was a huge Elvis fan and used to listen to Elvis all the time, and she was like, oh, Dad, I can't wait till Elvis puts out a new CD, and I can't wait till Elvis tours, and if we go to America, can we go to see Elvis? And her dad had to sit her down one day and say, before you were born, Elvis died. And she was like, that can't be right. It can't be true. And she had like this moment and just total grief when she had to catch up on events that had happened well before she was born.
I think X Factor is very broad, but for Elvis, for me, and I think X Factors are very personal because a lot of people obviously don't think he's got it, but he has this aura that when he walks on stage, he just is like magic. And his voice is amazing. He's got such a range, and his body movements, I think he's an athlete. And when he was young, he was just gorgeous, and his hair. So I think it's a combination of everything. And I preferred him when he wasn't so glitzy with his dress, because I don't think he needed it. And I think he had to have that. But I just think in just that black leather, that X Factor really comes through for me. So I'd love his shoes to be under my bed. Is that the X Factor? Probably not, but for me it is.
Mum's got a couple of DVDs as well, and it's
right.
a good thing to watch on Christmas when you're really full and tired. Just put Elvis on, and it's pretty much amazing. They're just a couple of DVDs of footage from shows, and Mum and I lie around and watch them, and Dad will pop his head in and be like, still going? And we're just like, well. As long as we're digesting, we're watching this, and this is going to soothe everything.